I knew before I reached the ballroom. You can feel hierarchy in the way a room breathes. The chandeliers were low and golden, linen crisp enough to look untouched. My mother stood near the entrance in a silver dress that probably cost more than my first car. My father's hand rested at her back like this was the culmination of something sacred. "Sweetheart," she said, kissing near my cheek, "what put you over there?" Over there was a circular table tucked near the dessert station, 2 high chairs, 3 toddlers with tablet screens glowing blue, 1 exhausted babysitter. I stood still long enough for the shape of it to settle. Across the room, my older brother adjusted his cufflinks at the head table. My sister laughed beside him, holding champagne, their spouses, their children. The photographer hovered near them instinctively. It wasn't a mistake. It never was. "Just for seating balance," my mother added, already half turned away. "You know how these things are." I did. I took my seat between a spilled juice box and a diaper bag. A toddler dropped a crayon in my lap. I handed it back and smiled. From the stage, my brother tapped his glass. He spoke about legacy, about resilience, about how our parents taught us the meaning of unity. His voice carried easily through the speakers. My sister followed, describing Sunday dinners, unwavering support, how we've always shown up for each other. I listened carefully. It's strange, the moment when something stops hurting and starts clarifying. For years, I'd funded temporary gaps, a down payment here, a tuition balance there, quiet transfers, emergency wiring. My parents never asked directly. They framed it as family helping family, and I help when they wanted this anniversary to be unforgettable. I'd offered my company's hospitality account. It was simpler, better rates, professional handling. My father had laughed proudly about my corporate connections to his friends. They never asked whose name the reservation was under. Halfway through my sister's toast, a toddler began to cry. The babysitter apologized to me as if I were in charge. I excused myself. Outside the ballroom, the hotel corridor was carpeted thick enough to muffle footsteps. The air smelled faintly of lilies. I called the events coordinator. "This is Daniel Mercer," I said. My voice surprised me, steady, almost detached. "I need to withdraw authorization for tonight's booking under Mercer Analytics' corporate account, effective immediately." There was a pause, not confusion, confirmation. "Understood, Mr. Mercer. Shall we halt service and close the event?" "Yes." No speech, no explanation. I hung up and stood there for a moment, looking at my reflection in the dark window. Not angry, just done negotiating my own value. 10 minutes is longer than you think when you're aware something irreversible is in motion. I didn't return to the ballroom. I moved instead to the lobby seating area where I could see the entrance without being seen. Inside, I could glimpse the edge of the stage through the open doors. My father had just begun his response toast when the event manager approached him. Navy suit, clipboard, calm posture. The microphone shifted. There's a specific quality to public confusion. It starts with polite laughter, people assuming it's part of the program. Then voices lower, heads tilt, phones come out. The music stopped. Even from the lobby, I could hear the manager's clear, professional tone. "I'm very sorry, but due to the withdrawal of the corporate authorization attached to this reservation, we are required to conclude the event immediately." A beat. "Withdrawn?" my father repeated, amplified unintentionally through the mic still clipped to his jacket. Guests turned. My brother stepped forward. My mother's hand flew to her chest, not dramatically, instinctively. The manager didn't raise his voice. He didn't need to. "The account holder has rescinded coverage. Without an alternative payment method secured at this time, we must suspend service." Authority doesn't shout, it states. Plates stopped moving. Staff began quietly clearing glassware. The photographer lowered his camera. I watched my siblings scan the room, calculating. My father looked smaller somehow, not humiliated, just abruptly disoriented. Then my brother saw me through the open doors, across the marble floor. He didn't wave, he didn't glare, he just stared. And in that stare was recognition, not of revenge, of leverage. He walked toward me slowly. "Did you do this?" he asked when he reached the lobby. I met his eyes. "It was under my corporate account." "That's not what I asked." "I know." Behind him, guests filtered out awkwardly. Some offered tight smiles, others avoided eye contact entirely. The illusion had thinned too quickly for graceful recovery. "You could have talked to us," he said. "I considered that. I've been talking for years," I replied, not sharply, just factually. He didn't argue. For the first time, there was no speech about unity, no framing, no positioning me as sensitive or dramatic, just quiet. My mother emerged next. She looked at me as though trying to place me in a new category. Not the youngest, not the dependable fallback, just separate. "This didn't have to happen," she said. "No," I agreed, "it didn't." And that was the closest either of us came to apology. I didn't stay to watch the logistics unfold. I knew they would solve it somehow. Someone always does. Maybe they moved to a smaller private dining room. Maybe they put charges on personal cards. Maybe the evening continued in a diluted version, but something fundamental had shifted. Not because the party stopped, because I had. In the car alone, I felt neither triumphant nor guilty, just steadier. I hadn't destroyed anything. I'd withdrawn something that was mine. For years, I'd mistaken usefulness for belonging. That night, sitting at a table meant for children, I understood the difference. The next morning, my phone was quiet. No angry messages, no dramatic ultimatums, just space. And for the first time, the silence didn't feel like exclusion. It felt